Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Stegra.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into green steel.
Okay.
And I don't mean like painting it green.
Right.
We're talking about a company called Stegra that's making waves by trying to decarbonize one of the dirtiest industries out there.
Yeah, that's right. They're looking to really disrupt one of the biggest contributors to global CO2 emissions.
Yeah.
Heavy industry accounts for like a massive 40%.
Wow.
And you know what? Steel alone is over 7% of that.
Yeah, that's a lot of greenhouse gases.
It's huge.
So we've got a stack of Stegra's news and background here. And I have to say, I'm already impressed with their ambition.
Yeah.
Where do we even start with this?
Well, to really appreciate what Stegra is doing, you have to understand the problem they're tackling. Traditional steelmaking, it relies heavily on coal.
Okay.
Which is a major culprit behind all those emissions we just talked about.
That makes sense. I mean, it's basically the fuel to like heat and melt everything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where Stegra is changing the game.
Okay.
Right? They're replacing coal with green hydrogen.
Green hydrogen. Okay, so not just any hydrogen.
Right.
What makes it green?
Yeah.
Why is that such a big deal?
You're right. Not all hydrogen is created equal.
Okay.
Green hydrogen is produced using renewable energy sources.
Okay.
Like wind or solar power.
Right.
Meaning the hydrogen itself is made without generating all those carbon emissions.
So it's about cleaning up the whole process.
Yes.
From start to finish.
Exactly.
And they're doing this on a large scale, right?
Yes.
They have that plant in Sweden?
Yes. The Boden plant.
Okay.
It's going to be Europe's largest green hydrogen production facility.
Wow.
And it's going to be completely powered by renewable energy.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Are they actually making the steel there?
Yes.
Or is it just for the hydrogen?
They're doing it all. It's all part of this process to refine iron ore into what they call green iron.
Wow.
And get the main byproduct of the process is steam.
Water vapor.
Wow. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But what kind of impact are we talking here?
Like, what's the scale?
Yeah.
Well, Stegra claims that once the Boden plant is fully operational, they could reduce annual steel emissions by over 7 million tons.
Wow.
That's like taking millions of cars off the road every year.
Now, that's what I call making a difference.
It's huge.
But this isn't just about this one plant, right?
Right.
It feels like they're trying to change the entire industry.
Absolutely. Building Europe's first new steel mill in 50 years is a huge statement.
Wow.
They're signaling this potential massive shift in how steel production is done.
It's like they're saying, look, we can do this differently.
Right.
And here's the proof.
Exactly.
But something this ambitious can't be easy.
No.
How are they pulling it off?
Well, they're not afraid to partner up.
Okay.
We're talking about a network of collaborators that would make even the most established companies envious.
Okay, so who have they teamed up with?
Well, for starters, they've secured almost $6.5 billion in funding.
Wow.
That's not chump change.
No.
And they're working with some heavy hitters in the tech world like ThyssenKrupp Nucera for their green hydrogen expertise.
So they're not trying to reinvent the wheel from scratch.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Right.
But what about the raw materials?
Yeah.
You need a ton of iron ore to make steel.
They've got that covered too.
Okay.
Stegra has agreements with major suppliers like Vale and Rio Tinto.
Okay.
And even has the logistics sorted with ports in Luleå and Narvik for transportation.
Wow. They really are thinking of everything.
Yeah.
It's like they're building an entire green steel ecosystem.
It is.
But partnerships are one thing. Who's actually buying this green steel?
Get ready for this list. Volvo, IKEA, Mercedes-Benz, ZF Group.
Okay.
Even Porsche is on board.
Hold on, Porsche?
Yeah.
The sports car company. That's a pretty big deal.
It really is. Seems everyone's looking for more sustainable options these days.
Yeah.
Even in the high-performance car market.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's true. Porsche jumping on board really highlights how sustainability is becoming a major factor even in these luxury markets. And what's so fascinating here is how Stegra is approaching this whole challenge.
Right.
They're not just focused on one thing.
Yeah.
They're innovating on the technology, building these partnerships, securing these huge customer agreements,
Right.
all while scaling up at this incredible pace.
It's like they're putting together this giant puzzle.
It is.
And all the pieces are falling into place.
Yeah.
But are they actually making steel yet, or is this like mostly still in the works?
They're actually already delivering on some of those customer agreements.
Right.
Which is incredible considering they only launched the company back in 2021.
Wow.
Their timeline is amazing.
Really?
They broke ground in Boden in 2022, secured those environmental permits in 2023,
Okay.
and even started raising the first steel at the plant later that year.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
They launched like 3 years ago and have already like achieved this much.
They've been moving fast.
Wow.
They also managed to raise a massive $1.5 billion in 2023, the largest private placement in Europe that year.
It's a whirlwind timeline for sure.
It is.
But hold on, they changed their name.
Yeah.
Weren't they called something else before?
You're right. They were originally called H2 Green Steel,
H2 Green Steel.
but they just changed it to Stegra last month.
Stegra.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
Stegra? It's catchy.
Yeah.
But why the change?
Right.
Especially after all this progress.
It seems like they wanted a name that reflects their broader vision.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about them creating this ripple effect?
Right.
The name Stegra sounds like a step towards a greener future,
Yeah.
encompassing more than just steel.
So while the name is new,
Yeah.
that core mission to decarbonize steel production is still at the heart of what they do.
Absolutely.
It's really refreshing to see a company not just talking about sustainability,
Right.
but actually taking these concrete steps to make it happen.
Right. And they're not just dipping their toes in, they're diving headfirst into this green steel revolution.
Yeah.
But you're right, it hasn't all been easy.
Right.
There are always challenges with a project this ambitious.
For sure. What have been some of the biggest hurdles they've faced so far?
One of the biggest favor for any company in this space is cost competitiveness.
Okay.
Green steel is generally more expensive to produce than traditional steel,
Right.
at least for now.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, the technology is newer,
Right.
and you've got that whole scaling up thing to figure out.
Exactly.
But they do have those big investors.
Yeah.
That has to help, right?
Absolutely.
Oh.
That level of investment shows real confidence in their vision
Right.
and their ability to overcome these cost challenges.
Yeah.
Plus, as they scale up production and the technology matures, those costs are expected to come down.
So it's a long game.
Yeah.
They're betting on the future of green steel becoming more affordable
Right.
and eventually the industry standard.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just trying to carve out some small niche.
Right.
They're aiming to disrupt the entire steel industry.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the increasing pressure from governments around the world,
That's true.
pushing these heavy industries to reduce their carbon footprint.
Yeah. It's not just a trend that they're riding.
Right.
They're ahead of the curve,
Yes.
setting a precedent for others to follow.
Exactly.
But what do you think? Is it working? Are other companies taking notice?
Well, Stegra isn't the only player in the green steel game,
Right.
but they seem to be one of the furthest along in development and scale.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the industry responds to their success.
Right.
Competition can be a powerful driver of innovation.
So Stegra might actually inspire this like surge in green steel initiatives.
It's certainly possible, but it's not just about the steel industry, is it?
Right.
This has huge implications for other heavy industries as well.
Yeah.
Think about the cement industry, aluminum, even plastics. Imagine if we could produce those with a near zero carbon footprint.
That's a future I think we can all get behind.
Right. Stegra's success could have this incredible ripple effect,
Yeah.
changing how we approach manufacturing in a huge range of industries.
Yeah. It's like
Yes.
they're becoming these role models,
Yeah.
even if it's unintentional.
Right.
But for now, they seem to be leading the charge.
They are. And their story is far from over. I'm really curious to see how they navigate the challenges ahead
Yeah.
and what impact they ultimately have on the future of steel and heavy industry as a whole.
So Stegra is putting their money where their mouth is, aiming to make green steel the industry standard.
Yeah.
What's your final takeaway from all of this?
It's ambitious, but their approach focusing on green hydrogen, securing these massive partnerships and scaling so rapidly, positions them as a potential leader in this critical transition.
Okay.
It'll be fascinating to see how they impact the future of steel and inspire other heavy industries to decarbonize.
It's incredible to think that what Stegra's doing could have this ripple effect across so many industries.
Yeah.
It's not just about cleaner steel.
Right.
It's about proving that sustainable practices can be scalable
Yeah.
and even profitable.
Exactly.
And for you listening, if you're as intrigued by Stegra as we are,
Yeah.
they've got a fascinating website.
Yeah, they do.
You can
Lots of cool stuff on there.
delve deeper into their technology, check out news updates, explore career opportunities.
Yeah.
They're hiring.
Which is always a good sign.
And they even have a peek inside that impressive Boden plant.
Yeah, it's definitely a company to watch.
Yeah.
They're pushing boundaries, forging partnerships, and building a future where heavy industry and sustainability can coexist.
Right.
Pretty amazing.
It's inspiring to see a company not just talking about change, but actually making it happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stegra's journey is a powerful reminder that innovation and collaboration are key to tackling some of the biggest challenges facing our planet.
Well said.
Well said.
That's a wrap on today's deep dive into the world of green steel and the company Stegra leading the charge.
Until next time.
See you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.